The blue shell is probably the worst item in the entire Mario Kart cinematic universe.
Quack.
Where do I even begin with this F tier of an item? First of all, it appears only when you are well behind the player in first, thus removing it as a playable item for most racers in the game, unlike its younger brothers, the red shell and the green shell. There is no item that requires less thought than the blue shell, as even the most beginner of players can use it as it is intended simply by pressing the item button. It annoys almost every player on its way to first place, doing its snake-like dance on the ground as it zips across the track before it reaches them, borrows $20 saying that it will pay them back, and then is never seen again. Some people may make the argument that there are many viable ways to avoid this item. They are in fact very wrong. While you can get items like the Super Horn, which destroys the blue shell, it is extremely rare, with the game more often giving the player a better item like the coin, and so we can basically rule this method out. Another option is to smuggle a more powerful item to when you are in first. This is known as item trafficking, but it is in fact not viable, as it is impossible to bring a good item to first place. This is because you can lose your items to things like the Ghost, Lightning, and Swiper from Dora the Explorer. So yeah, if a blue shell is sent, it basically ruins the game. Let's see what some fans have to say. This is supposed to be a racing game, and I am unhappy when I spend my time getting better so that I can win, only to have it taken away from me. The core of the game is racing, not a particularly determined turtle shell. This is not a good item. It has no impact on where I am in the race. It only harms the player in first without giving me any sort of a lead. It is probably a bad item. Nintendo has just announced that based on the success of the blue shell, 2 new mechanics have been added to the game which they believe will further build on its positive community impact. They have introduced the Aquamarine Shell, described as not quite blue, that will target the player in third place and can only damage them. Every player 4th place and higher will get this item for free without hitting an item box at the start of each lap. In addition, it was decided that the blue shell does not always serve its intended purpose of moving the first place player to last place, so any player that is hit by the blue shell will now be given a timeout until the last racer has crossed the finish line. We hope that you will continue to enjoy the game with these quality of life updates. Given this new information, we can answer the question, should the blue shell stay in the game? The answer is, of course, yes.